So positive parenting, the name suggests positive. So we always have a good balance of love and limits. And when you'll notice, I mean, your parents, and you will notice that, either of them in imbalance. If love is too much, then, and limits is too little, then your child can get, spoiled, and they will not listen to you. On the other hand, if you've got too many restrictions and you impose limits too harshly, but at the same time, if you're not, you don't have a warm relationship with the child, then the child can also, rebel at times. So it's a good balance of love and limits. Now let's first try to understand how children learn to respect limits. Now we have grown up as children, we have our own personal experience, and we don't always rebel against limits. At some point, we figured out that this is what we can and can't do. So how do children actually learn to respect limits? The first thing that they do is they discover a limit. So the first step is discovery. They find a limit simply by experimenting, because they will just be doing something, and then a parent or an adult would say, no, you cannot do this. Okay, so for example, they are playing with a ball, and then they start throwing it at you, and then you go, no, don't do it. So they are just experimenting. They're just playing with the ball, and suddenly they come across by accident, they come across a limit. So the first stage is discovery. The moment they get a limit, what they do is they'll try to test and retest it. So they try to see that, okay, what is this thing? And mind you, this happens quite involuntarily. The child is not aware of it, but this is how they explore and learn. So now they'll try and test it. So what you may feel that they are provoking you or they're teasing you, but what they're trying to see is that, okay, what is this limit about? And how far can I push it? And how far can I push it? So the second stage, once they have discovered the limit, is to test and retest. And this is a very, very difficult phase for us, because this is the time when they will actually push your buttons. They will try and annoy you. We feel very annoyed, we feel out of control at times, but they're trying to see if the limit that you've set is going to hold or not. So what will they do? They might smile at you. You're telling the child, okay, don't throw the ball at me, but they'll giggle at you and they'll do it again. Or they may try to do it, when guests are around. So they'll try in different situations. Okay, this limit of not throwing a ball at a person, where does it apply? In what situations does it apply? And finally, what happens is that they accept and internalize that limit. How do they do that? They learn if you consistently apply the same limit. If you consistently, whether it is with you or with an adult, whether it's at home or in the park, if you consistently apply that limit, that no, you cannot throw a ball, you shouldn't throw a ball at anybody, then they'll slowly learn that, okay, this is the rule. Okay, I cannot throw balls at people. And they'll accept and internalize it. So this is the steps that they go through at any stage in a child's a childhood. You will find that they will do this, whether it is with playing with a ball, or asking for candy, or throwing a tantrum. You see that this is the phase that these three stages are what they go through. And for us as parents, what we need to be aware of is that this is simply their way of learning about the world. Like, what are the rules of this world? What are the rules of this world? And how much can I push it? Just remember that this is a learning. So from our perspective, what we need to do is actually be very consistent. Be consistent, also not harsh, but be firm, be consistent, and sooner or later what will happen is that they will accept it. Okay, fine. That this means in this world I cannot go around throwing balls at people. So this is how they learn limits. And I've told you this before we go into the steps, is because this is important for us to learn. The consistency matters.